All right, there we go. Also going into this market, we should go into this market with the thought process of it's not about where I'm at right now. It's about where I'm going to be December 31st, 2020, whatever. So in this case, December 31st, 2023 is where you're going to be at that moment. Okay. Can you guys hear me on YouTube now? On YouTube, Facebook, can you hear me now? Okay. All right. Perfect. Beautiful. 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 All right. So where are you going to be at on December 31st, 2023? Are you going to be green for the month? For the year? Or are you going to be red for the year? Okay. We want to be green for the year. And when it comes that you have to approach the market in a way that you're approaching the market in the fact that, okay, it's okay if I may win 500 this day and then lose some this day. You're not going to have every day is going to be a winner, but the goal is to make sure when December 31st, 2021 comes, you're in the green. So on average, if I'm making $100 a day, that's $25,000 a year. If I'm making $200 a day on average, that's $50,000 a year. If I'm making $300 a day on average, that's $75,000. And then if I get to that $400 a day on average, that's the big baby. That's when you get to that six-figure mark, roughly around $100,000 a year from trading. And this is how you need to look at it. Most people have full-time jobs. Okay, most people have full-time jobs, so they're doing this with a full-time job, or they're entrepreneurs and they're doing multiple things at one time. Their only stream of income is not coming from trading stock options. So think about your full-time job right now, at this very moment. Okay, think about your full-time job right now. At your full-time job, think about how much money you make a year. Okay, now think about if you say, okay, while I'm working my full-time job and I make $100 trading stock options. And you say, I'm going to do that on average for a year. Now you have what? Now you have $25,000 extra sitting right there, okay, in your trading account, adding that to what you brought home from your paycheck. So if you make $100,000 a year, now you got $125,000. If you make $50,000 a year, now you got $75,000. Those type of things are life changing because we always say the same thing. If I can go 1 year without paying my mortgage, if I can go 1 month without paying my mortgage, if I can go 1 month without paying my car payment, and so on and so on and so on. Those things are game changers. That can change your year, your account drastically. And then now you say, okay, now the most powerful thing is this. If you can average $100 a day for 1 year, now going into the next year, you have something that's most important when it comes to trading stock options. You have confidence. Okay, you now have confidence to say, I understand when I open up my laptop every morning, I don't need anyone around me. I don't need to go sell a product. I don't have to go buy anything from somebody. I don't have to do any of those things. I wake up, open my laptop, and I'm confident going into this stock market and making my $100 a day. But this is the problem. We do not want to make the $100 a day. The $100 a day is not enough for us. Mentally in your mind, when you approach the market on a day-by-day basis, you should not approach the market on a day-by-day basis. You should, from the aspect of attempting to be green at the end of the year, you should focus on the market from a yearly basis. A yearly basis, right? If you're doing long-term trading, they tell you to focus on the market for 10, 15 years from now. Don't worry about what the market is doing today. You about the market is doing 15, 20 years from now. But when it comes to stock options, I like to focus on a year basis. So I go into the market and everything that I'm doing and everything that I'm focusing on is based upon where would I be at the end of the year. If you go into this market focused on a day-by-day basis, if Monday you don't make $100, you lose $200, the next day you're trying to get $300 to make sure you catch up for that loss. That's not the way to go. By doing that, you're going to hurt yourself. Okay, you're going to hurt yourself because you're going to be trying to get everything back in 1 day when in reality you don't have 1 day. You got 200 and some odd days left in the year to get money back. To have that big day where you have a big day where it gives you back 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 days of trading that you didn't make $100. And then the powerful thing is this. If you can lock into your mind that, okay, if I make my $100 right here, this whole month of January, if I make $100 a day, man, what is that? That's 500. Boom. That's $2,000 for the month. Now you're going into February. Oh, let me do $100 again. That's $4,000 for the month. Now you got $4,000 roughly in profit that you got. And I'm just talking about hypothetically speaking on numbers, right? But that's $4,000 profit you got. Now with that $4,000, you're not making $100 a day. Now with that $4,000, you say, okay, now I'm making about $200, $250, $300 a day. And you keep going and going and going. And when you get closer and closer to the end of the year, you're no longer making $100 a day. You're no longer making $200 a day. You're no longer making $300. You're no longer making $400. You're making $500, $600, $700, $800 a day. And then when you get to the end of the year, you say, okay, great. I'm green for the year. And you start the next year, you can say, now I don't have to start this my year 2 worth of trading or my year 3 of trading, making $100 a day or $200. Now I'm going into the market every day trying to make $750, $800 to $1,000 a day. Now in that time period of you making those $100 days, are you going to have $1,000 days? Yes, you will. But well, Chris, if I'm going to have $1,000 day, how is my average $100? Because it's going to be days you lose $500, $600, $700. It's going to happen. It's going to be days like that. Mama said there'll be days like this. There'll be days like this, my mama said. Okay? There are going to be days like this, so you have to prepare for them and get ready for those days because they will happen. But when you set yourself up, when you set your mind to understand, okay, I know if I take a loss right here, I got so much time to get it back. How I normally handle losses is this. If I take a loss, say for example, when I trade with more money. So if I take a $2,000 loss one day, my goal is not to get $2,000 back the next day. My goal is to say, okay, I'm going to break that $2,000 into 5 trading days. Okay, I'm going to break that $2,000 up to 5 trading days. And those 5 trading days, what I'm going to do is I want to get $400 back each day. So now my mission and my goal is not to make $1,000 a day. My goal is to make $400 a day for 5 days. Boom, I recoup my loss. Boom, now I'm starting back. Boom. And now I'm going through the regular stages trying to make $800 to $1,000 a day or $500 to $1,000 a day, right? That's how I handle my losses. Okay? That's how I handle them. I do not try to get them back the next day. I'm happy after a loss. My goal is just to get a win the next day, honestly. The reason why is that because I want to make sure because we all human, you want to make sure your confidence does not just go away. Because after 3 or 4 straight losses, your confidence might try to dwindle like, let me change some things up. Nah, you don't need to change things up. You just need to continue to stay consistent. That's why when I show you guys on the webinars, for example, when I show you my TD Ameritrade account, the month I made like $35,000 on $35,000 to $40,000 in that month. I showed you when I had a 7-day win streak, then I had a 3-day losing streak. Okay, but that 7-day winning streak granted me about $13,000. That 3-day losing streak granted me about $5,000 loss. Okay. Granted, even in that, and when I went back and looked at the data, I'm like, okay, in that 3-day losing streak, I lost too much money. Because if in 7 days I made $7,000, in 3 days I lost $5,000, I was losing too much money on those days. Each day I lost too much money. I need to make sure I shorten the amount of money I lost. Okay, because when you have big losses when it comes to trading stock options, that means you're stretching, you're reaching. That means you're hoping and praying that the market start going in reverse. Okay, small losses, that mean, listen, I got into my play. It wasn't the right play. I got out. We're looking for the next thing. We're looking for the next play, waiting and being patient. Okay. So the way to get to that, and the purpose of me having this doing this particular title is the way that you get to that $100 a day. Okay. The way that you get to that $100 a day. All right. And I tell you, if you can make $100 a day, you can eventually make $1,000 a day. If you can eventually make $100 a day, you can eventually make $2,000 a day. It's not about you're not going to do anything different from you making $100 a day to you making $200 a day or to making $1,000 a day. It's only one thing that's different. One thing. You're investing more money when you make $1,000 a day. That's it. The way that you approach the market, the strategy, all of that stuff is still the same. Nothing changes. It's still the same. The only difference is you're investing more money into that particular play. And that's the good thing about it, right? You don't have to, that's the good thing about it. You don't have to worry about going from here to there, here to there, here to there. Everything is exactly the same. So the way that you will do this is this, okay? I tell people to start off with $500 to $1,000. Start off with $500 to $1,000. No, you do not have to start off with $5,000. People come to me and say, hey, Chris, my goal is to start off with maybe like $10,000. I say, okay, cool. I say, take $9,000 out of your account, start with $1,000. Somebody said, hey, Chris, I'm thinking about starting off with $15,000, $20,000. I said, okay, if you start off with $20,000, take $19,000 out of your account, start off with $1,000. Why do I tell people to start off with $1,000, right? Or $500 to $1,000? The main reason, the first reason is you do not want to invest your money into something that you have not become emotionally detached. Or let me put it like this, something that you are emotionally attached to. When you think about this, when you get into a relationship with somebody, right? When you get into a relationship with somebody and you're dating, you do not give them all of your emotions up front. They have to earn your trust. Let the market, you have to earn the market's trust. You have to build your confidence. So therefore, don't give the market, don't put all your money into the market before you get your emotions in check. You get your emotions in order. And when you get your emotions in order and you get your emotions in check, then you're free to go and have that relationship, that beautiful relationship that you're going to have with that person that you're about to give your everything to. Think about the stock market as a relationship. That's why I teach the stock market using R&B music and using your personal relationships. Because once you look at the stock market as a relationship, now you're going to be able to understand it more because you're coming from a place where you understand relationships. Everyone that's watching right now has been in a relationship with someone or have friends that they had to ease themselves into a relationship with. No one jumped with some people, but no one jumps into a relationship and like, oh, I love you. Let's go. Let's get married tomorrow. No one does that. You go in, you talk on the phone, you kiki, kaka, go on dates, have fun, this, that, and the third. And the more comfortable you get, the less you worry about your hair being done when you go meet the person you've been being courted by, or the person that you're courting. The fellas no longer worry about making sure that tape line is crispy clean. The ladies worry about their hair being done every single time we see each other, or putting makeup on every single time we see each other. No, because now I'm comfortable with you. I'm letting my guards down. I'm letting some of my walls down. That's the same way. Don't take the whole $15,000, $20,000 if that's what you have, or don't take the whole $5,000 if that's what you have and put it into the market and say, let's go. No, you put that $1,000 in and you get used to trading and seeing your emotions go up and down, up and down, up and down. And that $1,000, some people may lose that $1,000. Some people may turn that $1,000 into $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. But if you got $5,000 sitting over there and you lose $1,000, what else do you have left? You have $4,000 left. And now you've done, went through some learning lessons. Okay? If you only got $1,000, don't put the whole $1,000 in there. Put $500 in there. Okay. Now, what you're gonna start doing is this. Once you put the funds in there, you're looking for a 10% return on your investment at least. If you put $1,000 in, you're looking for 10% return on your investment. If you put $500 in, you're looking for a 10% return on your investment. So if you put $500 in, you're looking to make $50 a day for a little bit until your account gets up to $1,000. If you put $100, and now keep in mind what I'm saying is you're looking for 10%. So when I say looking for 10%, I should explain myself a little bit more. When I say looking for 10%, that 10% is this. Once you get to your 10%, you can have a stop loss set. It's your 10% to take you out. You can have a trailing stop set. Or once you get to your 10%, you set a stop loss at 8%, so you lock in your profits. You don't have to get out. You just have to make sure that you lock in profits around 8 to 10%, because if it keeps going up, you can make more money. But when you get to that 8 to 10%, you want to go ahead and start locking in that profit, because that's how you're going to be able to continue to build. And when it comes to having a stop loss with your losses, if you're trading with $1,000, you want to have anywhere from a 5 to 10% stop loss. Anywhere from a 5 to 10% stop loss. Okay? If you're trading with 500, you want to have anywhere from a 5% to 10% stop loss. Some people are going to say that's a tight stop loss, Chris. Yes, I'd rather have a tight stop loss than a loose tight stop loss. The tighter your stop loss is, this is what I truly believe. The tighter your stop loss is, yes, you're going to miss out on opportunities. You're going to miss out on plays, right? But the tighter your stop loss, what's going to eventually happen, the better your entries will start to become. The better your entries will start to become, the tighter your stop loss. Okay? So, in other words, to kind of wrap it out, wrap it up. Yeah, definitely. 2020. If you want to go to 20% stop loss, that's perfectly fine. I normally do a 15 to 20% stop loss. That's what I normally do. 15 to 20%, depending on what I'm trading with. But 15 to 20% is what I normally do. But I tell people starting off, anywhere from that 5 to 10, right? And I use that 5 to 10 because I want you to I want you to start working on understanding your entries, getting better and better and better entries. Because the more you get stopped out of your plays, the more you're going to be like, okay, let me make sure my entry is the best place to get in. But if you got a 20% stop loss starting off, 30% stop loss starting off, you may get in willy-nilly and say, oh, I got plenty of space for it to go down, and this ain't a third, right? No, we want to get into our plays, and if it goes down some, it barely goes down, and then our reward goes crazy. We want to have a higher reward than the risk, okay? All right, but anyway, so that's kind of how you start. That's kind of how you start off. That's the mindset to have. The mindset is to have this. I want to be green by December 31st, 2023. Okay, that's the mindset to have. The mindset is not to go with stock option trade on a day-to-day basis, saying, okay, I made $100 a day, I lost $200 a day, I got to get it back the next day. That's not the mindset to go into it with. You will lose if you do that. Okay. If you want to start off trading stock options, I don't care how much money you have. I tell you, start off with that $500 to $1,000 just to start off. If you want to put in more money after you get comfortable with your emotions, by all means do that. But first, you have to get comfortable with your emotions. And by doing that, you will be put in a better place. All right. Now, remember, everybody, we're coming down to it. Time is running out. Okay. Time is running out. April 17th through April 21st is the next 5-day mastermind where I'm going to show you everything that you need to know about trading stock options. Okay. Like I said, we've down to 7 days. It's 7 days until we jump this thing off. The kickoff meeting is the 16th, April 16th is the kickoff meeting that we're going to have with JT Automation is going to be there on the 16th for the kickoff. So listen, honestly, you got 6 days to register if you have not registered already. If you have registered, continue to be looking at emails. I'm sending out daily emails, getting you guys prepped and getting you ready for this mastermind, because what I'm going to show you and what I'm going to walk you through, I'm going to walk you through in the evening time and in the morning time. You're going to be spending almost a whole day. I mean, everything is virtual, okay? Everything is virtual, so you will have unlimited access to the recordings, okay? So if you want to DM me Mastermind on Instagram, if that's something that you want to do, and I will send you the link to register right here on YouTube. The link is in the description. On Facebook, the link is in the description as well. All right, everybody, listen, if you're trading today, be careful. Remember, draw your supply zones and draw your demand zones. The stock market has to go above this 410, 411 area. And just to be on the safe side, you want to see it break that 412 area. Okay, to the downside, there's room for the market to fall back down to that 405. From 405, we break that, we can go back down to 400. When I'm talking about the market, I'm talking about SPY. Okay, there's room for it to go back down there. Okay, because we're struggling trying to get past this 412 mark. Okay, we're struggling a lot trying to get past this 412 mark. Go through the week. Everybody, go through this week right now. Start today. If you have not done so already, you should have done so already. What data is coming out this week? When are the Feds talking this week? You should know when the Feds are talking this week, what data is coming out this week, because these are in what days is coming out and what times these things are happening, because these things are going to be pivotal moments in the days that you're trading. If you know that data is coming out at 10:30 in the morning or 10 o'clock in the morning, you shouldn't be in a trade until that data comes out. Okay, because once the data comes out, it's going to kind of give you a direction of where we're going. If you know the Feds are going to be talking at 2 o'clock, there's really no reason for you to trade before 2 o'clock. unless you just really want to, but I wouldn't. I'll wait until 2 o'clock when the Feds talk, and then kind of get some direction of where the market is going and try to catch that even and run. Okay. All right, everybody. But listen, y'all have a good one. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on Facebook, Instagram. If you sent me a message and I have not responded to your message yet, I'm going through my messages. I receive a lot of messages on a daily basis, especially when it's time around mastermind time. I receive a lot of messages. Okay. But listen, I'm going to respond to each and every last one of them. All right. Y'all have a good one, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. All praise to the Most High.